In today's support video, I'd like to look at the on-bar close setting we have in our MT Predictor add-ons and the setting you need to use for intraday and daily charts. So if you've got an intraday chart, i.e. one that's updating during the day, the calculate on-bar close needs to be set to on-bar close, and I'll show you what I mean by this. So if you right mouse click, come down to indicators. Do you see that indicators? Just pull this into the video. Select your MTP analysis indicator, then come down, scroll down here to the setup section. It may be that it's hidden. If it's hidden like that, click on the arrow there to show it, and then this calculate here must be on bar close. The options we have are on bar close, each tick, on price change, but it must be on bar close. And the reason for this is if you're intraday, we only want our calculation to run when the bar closes. That means the first tick of the new bar. You must not have it on every tick, because a lot of things will happen if you do that. In other words, it will calculate every time a new tick comes in, which means it will be calculating all the time, so it will use up too much PC resources and probably crash your PC. It's just doing too much. Plus, what will happen is if it's on each tick, then you could get setups appearing mid-bar, and it means the setup could change. So if you have a setup that's changing mid-bar, it probably means that this setting is on the wrong setting. So you have to have this calculate on bar close for intraday analysis. So that means when the bar closes, i.e. the first tick of the new bar, it then runs the analysis and then it will give you your results, and that result won't change because the bar has then closed. So obviously it makes sense. So why am I asking you to look at this? Well, the difference is, or when you might want to have it different, is if you're looking at a daily chart. Okay, if you're looking at a daily chart, say for example using the kinetic end of day data, what happens is if you have it on bar close, when the bar's closed, it will only do the calculation on the first tick of the new bar. In other words, it won't calculate until tomorrow. So in other words, you won't see any setups, i.e. at the close of the day. So that's why if it's a daily chart or above or monthly, then come down to indicators and come down to the setting again. So that's all the way down here towards the bottom underneath the setup. So here we can say on each tick. Now obviously you only want this at the end of the day. As I said before, is if you have on each tick on a daily chart during the day, i.e. as the markets open, it will then calculate on every tick, which means it will slow your PC down, and also you have the possibility of the setups changing, because you could get a setup early in the day, then as the new ticks come through and it recalculates on every tick, the setup could change throughout the day, and you don't want that. So you only want to be looking at this once the bar has closed. But when it's a daily chart, you see, like this, you don't really want to wait until the first tick of the next new bar, i.e. tomorrow. You want to be able to have a look at this, i.e. at the end of the day, in other words when the bar closes. So this is the only time that you want to have this calculate on each tick, is for a daily chart, and only after the day has closed. In other words, after the market hours has closed. So you're doing your analysis after the market is closed on daily charts, or perhaps you're doing your analysis the next morning before the market opens. In other words, when the bars are not active. In other words, the market's actually closed. So hopefully that makes sense. So this setting here, calculate on each tick only when you're on a daily chart or above, and once the market's closed. If you're on any other time frame, particularly intraday, if I come back to an intraday chart, an intraday chart, you absolutely must have this calculate on bar close. So again, if you're on an intraday chart, this setup here, calculate, have this on bar close. If you don't, you'll get yourself into problems, and of course I don't want to have you guys having problems. I want to make sure that everything runs smoothly for you. So if you're having setups that are different, perhaps between market analyzer and a chart, or changing mid-chart or anything like that, or your PC slowing down, the first place to look at is to come to your intraday chart, do MTP analysis, come down to setup, calculate, make sure that is on bar close. If you do that, then you'll be okay.